So I want to thank you for being here today, and this is going to be the last in our class series for the trauma-sensitive yoga classes. And the name of this phase is called Body as a Resource. So during this class, we'll be learning a bit about the breath and how to use the breath to calm down, to self-regulate. Yeah, okay? So again, to begin, I invite you to come to a comfortable seated position at the front of the mat, whatever that is for you. Your eyes could be closed or open, bringing your hands to rest comfortably. And if it feels right for your body, gently allowing your mouth to close and beginning to draw some slow, deep breaths in and out through your nose. Deepening your inhale and lengthening your exhale. And simply allowing your awareness to turn inwards as you notice your breath. This slow, deep breath in and out through the nose with a lengthening of the exhale activates the parasympathetic nervous system or the relaxation response. And the length of the exhale may only be a fraction of a second longer than the inhale. That's okay. And as you continue to establish your breathing for this practice, simply noticing how this breath makes you feel. And from here, I'll invite you to drop your awareness down to any part of your body that is in contact with the floor right now. Simply being present to the experience of being both rooted and supported by the floor. Continuing to breathe slowly, deeply. And then from here, in your own time, bringing your attention up to the center of your body, just below your navel. And if you like, you could bring one or both hands to rest here at the center of your body in order to sense this area more fully. Beginning to direct your breath down into your belly. So that with the inhale, the belly expands like a balloon. And with the exhale, the belly relaxes and draws in. Deep belly breath. And keeping in mind that you have choices in everything that we do here. If deep belly breath or anything else doesn't feel right for you, just know that it's fine to leave it aside. And finally, in your own time, bringing your attention up to the crown of your head and lengthening up through the crown of your head. And when you're ready, with an exhale, releasing the palms to the floor in front of you and coming into a gentle forward fold. Releasing the weight of the head, relaxing the shoulders, breathing here. Knowing that you can come out of this or any other pose anytime you like, or stay for my count. 3, 2, and 1. Slowly, with your inhale, rolling back up to a tall seated position, pausing for a moment, releasing the fingertips down onto the earth or the bolster at either side of the hips. Great. With your inhale, lengthening up through the crown of the head. With your exhale, releasing the right ear to the right shoulder and breathing here. Good. And you may choose to walk the fingertips of the left hand a little further away from you here. The shoulders are relaxed. The breath is deep and steady. With the inhale, floating the head to center, pausing here. And when you're ready, with an exhale, releasing the left ear to the left shoulder. Breathing here, walking the fingertips of the right hand away. Good, that looks great. Noticing any difference in sensation from right to left side. For 2, and 1. Inhaling, head to center, pausing for a moment here. Great, and with the next inhale, circling the arms up, interlacing the fingers, pressing the palms away, taking a long stretch. Good, relaxing the shoulders, drawing the low rib cage in. Letting go of any tension in the jaw as we stretch the fingers and the hands, and the wrists. In your own time, with an exhale, releasing the twist to the right. So the right hand would come to the left knee, and the left hand may come behind you here with the heel of the hand in close to the low back. Inhale, lengthen up through the crown of the head. Exhaling, turning to look over the left shoulder, breathing here. Lovely. Good. Noticing the breath. Noticing sensation in the body. Breathing 3. 2. And 1. Exhaling back to center. Good. Inhaling, circling the arms up. Interlacing the fingers, pressing the palms away, breathing here. Good. Again, touching into that support, that rootedness of the earth. And with the exhale, taking a twist over, good, to the left. Inhaling, lengthening up through the crown of the head, and exhaling, turning to look over, good, the left shoulder, and breathing. And just knowing that wherever you're at in this moment is just fine. Feel free to rest if you need to rest, or hold a pose for longer if that feels right. Or staying for my count of 3. 2. And 1. And exhaling, coming back to center, pausing here. Great. In your own time, making your way into a comfortable tabletop position. And if you're not comfortable in tabletop, then please stay in seated, and I'll give you a modification in a moment. If you have props on your mat, now is probably a good time to clear them off. Great, good. Yeah, and doubling up your mat is a wonderful idea if this is tough on your knees. Coming up onto fists can also be helpful if this puts any strain on your wrists. Otherwise, the knees are about hips width apart, the hands lined up under the shoulders, and the fingers spread wide. Preparing to come into our cat-cow stretches with the inhale, tipping the tail, dropping the belly, and looking up. With the exhale, curling the tail under, rounding the spine, releasing the weight of the head, and that'll be the flow. Inhaling, tipping the tail, dropping the belly, and looking up. And exhaling, curling the tail under, rounding the spine, release the weight of the head, good, drawing the navel in, carrying on now at your own pace. Letting your breath guide the movement of your body. Good, and I'm just going to pause here, see how this is looking. So when we link the movement of the body with the breath, it helps to activate the relaxation response. And that's what we're doing here. And this pose can also be helpful for clearing congestion in the lungs, and of course for warming up the spine. And we're flowing for 3. Flowing for 2. And flowing last round. And in your own time, coming back to a neutral tabletop position. tucking the toes, beginning to press up and back and coming into your downward facing dog, breathing here. Good. And I'll stand up and take a look around. So keeping in mind that it's fine to come down into a resting pose of your choice at any time during this practice. You may choose to start alternating, bending the right knee and then the left. Or perhaps there's another kind of movement that naturally arises for you here. Please feel free to explore that. And again, the invitation is simply to be present to sensation as it arises in the body. Good. Breathing 3. 2. And 1. With your exhale, looking forward. With your inhale, stepping the feet to the top of the mat. And exhaling, nose to knees. With your inhale, sweeping the arms forward and up, coming up, looking up to the sky, exhaling through, bringing the hands to heart center. Great. And relaxing the arms now a comfortable distance away from the body with the palms facing forward. Good. Standing mountain pose. Taking a moment here to get grounded. And this is a technique that you can take out into the world with you anywhere you are. If you're ever feeling off center or anxious, finding your slow, deep breath in and out through the nose. Dropping your awareness down to the soles of your feet. Noticing the soles of your feet in contact with the floor as you breathe. And from here, when it feels right for your body, bringing your awareness up to the center of your body, just below your navel, and around to your low back. Settling your awareness here. And finally, I invite you to bring your attention up to the top of your head. You may choose to lengthen up through the top of your head, being aware of how that feels. And from here, on the inhale, circling the arms up. The palms come to touch overhead. Good. Exhaling, releasing the arms back down alongside the body. Good. And that's the flow. I'm just coming into a few of those. Yeah. Good. Inhaling, lovely. And exhaling. And we're flowing for 3. Flowing for 2. And and flowing. Last one, inhaling, circling the arms up. This time exhaling to forward fold, keeping a micro bend in the knees. And there are a lot of options here. You may choose to release the hands to the floor or to take hold of the elbows. Another variation is to bend the knees more deeply and rest elbows on deeply bent knees. Finding a variation that works for you. Breathing here. Good. Knowing that you can come out at any time. Traditionally, forward folds are seen as being more relaxing and sedating. Something you may want to include in your practice. If you're ever feeling like you need to slow it down a little bit, calm down a little bit, and notice what your experience is here. And if you have hold of the elbows, releasing them now. With the inhale, sweeping the arms forward and up. Come on, up. Looking up and exhaling, bringing the hands back to heart center. Good. Inhaling, circling the arms up, interlacing the fingers, index fingers extended, thumbs crossed. Exhaling, side bend to the right. Breathing here. Beautiful, and observing where sensation arises in the body here as you breathe. And with the inhale coming to center, exhaling, releasing over to the left, breathing here. Good. Noticing differences in sensation or experience from left to right side. Inhaling to center. Exhaling, relaxing the arms back down alongside the body for a moment. With your inhale, circling the arms up. You want to be near the top of your mat for this. With the exhale, forward fold. Nose to knees, releasing the fingertips to the earth. With the inhale, looking forward and lengthening. As you're ready, exhaling, stepping back to downward facing dog once again and breathing here. Remember, it's fine to have deeply bent knees. Feet are about hips width apart. With the next inhale, raising the right leg up behind you. Take a long extension here. Good. Exhaling to step the right foot forward between the hands to the top of the mat and land. From here, landing the back foot as well at about 45 degrees. We'll prepare to come into, good, some standing poses. Awesome. With your inhale, sweeping the arms forward and up, keeping that front knee bent. Good. Breathing. Yeah, the face is relaxed, the breath is deep and steady. I'm just going to walk to the back of this mat and I'll move the bolster out of the way. Good. Knowing that it's fine to come out at any time or stay for my count of 3. Noticing sensation as it arises in this pose. Breathing into it for 2. And 1. Exhaling, releasing the palms back down onto the mat, stepping the right foot back, downward facing dog. And again, walk it out a little bit here if that feels appropriate. Releasing the weight of the head. Good. Beaming the sitting bones back. In your own time, on an inhale, sweeping the left leg up behind you, take a long extension. Exhaling, stepping the left foot forward to the top of the mat. We come into a deep lunge here and land. That back foot lands at about 45 degrees, so it's flat on the floor. Good. Yeah, finding your lunge when you're ready. Inhaling, sweeping the arms forward and up, breathing here. Good. And the slow, deep breaths in and out through your nose keeps the parasympathetic nervous system activated even when the body is challenged. We're breathing two. So this practice helps to build a heartier stress response. And we're breathing for one. With the exhale, releasing the palms to the earth. Inhaling to step the back foot forward to the front of the mat. Exhaling, nose to knees. Inhaling, sweeping the arms forward and up. Coming up, looking up, a little back bend here perhaps, and exhaling, bringing the hands back to heart center, pausing here. And from here, taking a long stride back with the right foot to face the front of the room. This is okay. So taking a pretty long stance, you're fine right where you are, and pivoting the toes in towards one another. Great. Bringing the hands to the waist. As you're ready, inhaling, circling the arms up. Exhaling, forward fold, releasing the palms to the floor, about shoulders width apart. With your inhale, looking forward and lengthening. With your exhale, releasing into the fold and breathing here. Good, and I'm going to walk around and see how it's looking. Great. So if the palms are on the floor with a relative amount of ease, you may want to, I'm just walking to the other side of the room, you may want to walk the hands back a little bit between the feet. And we're breathing. Breathing for two. And one. And the palms are flat on the floor now. With the inhale, look forward, lengthen. Exhale, hands to waist. Inhaling, rising all the way up, looking up. And exhaling back to center. Good. From here, stepping up to the top of your mat and finding your equal standing pose once again. Preparing to come into the next. So finding equal standing pose at the top of the mat, taking a moment here. The hands could come to rest in front of the heart or the solar plexus as you breathe. Good, again, making that connection to the earth, dropping back into your breath. As you're ready, inhaling, circling the arms up, look up. Exhaling, forward fold, nose to knees, fingertips to the earth. With the inhale, look forward and lengthen. With the exhale, stepping back to a high plank position. You may choose to tap the knees to the floor today or to stay in your high plank. Good. Breathing for 2, knowing that you can come down at any time. Breathing for 1. And from here, tapping the knees and lowering all the way down onto your belly. The forehead rests on the floor. The arms rest alongside the body with the palms facing down. Good. So the arms are extended out alongside the body with the palms facing down. Great. And preparing to come into a few back bends. Back bends are traditionally recognized as being more invigorating and energizing. And I invite you to notice if that's your experience here. As you're ready with the inhale, lifting the head, lifting the heart, and lifting the right leg. Good, so this is a small movement, yeah. And exhaling, release. Inhaling, lifting the head, lifting the heart, and the left leg. Beautiful, exhaling and release, and that's the flow. Inhaling, head, heart, and right leg. Exhaling, release. Inhaling, head, heart, and left leg. And exhaling to release. Carrying on now at your own pace. And I'll just check out how it's going here. Great. Beautiful. Keeping the back of the neck long. On the exhale, the forehead releases to the earth. One more round each side. And on the exhale, release. On the next inhale, lifting the head, lifting the heart, lifting both legs. And if you like, you could lift the arms up off the mat a little bit too, and we're breathing. Again, resting if you need to rest, or staying for my count. Noticing the strength in the back body. Good. Breathing 2. Breathing 1. With the exhale, release the legs, bringing the palms under the shoulders. Inhale, pressing up. Pressing back. The big toes come to touch, knees separated wide apart, and releasing the forehead either to the floor or on stacked hands or fists. And if you need a bolster here, I can come and bring you one. You're good. Okay, good. This pose is traditionally seen as being a relaxing, containing kind of pose. It may be helpful for anxiety, but again, it's important for you to notice what your individual experience is like here. There's no one right way that it should be. In this pose, we'll practice 5 rounds of Brahmari breath. And this breath is simply a long inhale through the nose. And on the exhale, we make a long sound, like a humming sound. So the inhale is silent and the exhale makes a long M sound. We'll practice 5 rounds of this breath. So I'll start you off and let you come into the rest at your own pace should you choose to continue on. And once we're at 5, I'll let you know. This Brahmari seen as being a good way to support the production of, to improve and support rest. Inhaling. Exhaling, Brahmari breath. In your own time. Last round. Coming back into your regular breathing cycle, in and out through the nose. And taking a few more moments here just to drop in and notice how you feel.
In your own time, extending the arms out in front of you now with the palms on the mat. Inhaling, coming to tabletop, removing any props from the mat, separating the feet, tucking the toes, and on an exhale, pressing up and back and coming back into downward facing dog and walking it out a little bit here. Great. On the exhale, looking forward. On the inhale, stepping the feet to the top of the mat. And exhaling, nose to knees. When you're ready, with the inhale, sweeping the arms forward and up, coming up, looking up to the sky, and exhaling through hands to heart center. Good, and from here preparing to come into tree pose. A lot of different ways to be in tree pose. We'll go through the variations together and then you can choose where you want to hang out for a bit and breathe. So bringing the hands to rest comfortably either in front of the heart or at the waist. And finding a steady drishti point, so a focal point to settle your eyes on. And to begin getting grounded down through the sole of the left foot and the left leg. And starting by resting the right foot on top of the left. And this is a great place to be with the arch of the foot resting on the top of the supporting foot. And you may choose to hang out here and breathe. Another variation is to bring the sole of the foot up onto the calf. Yeah. Great, and again, this may be your tree today. Another variation is to actually take hold of the ankle and lift the sole of the foot up onto the thigh. Bringing the heel in as close to the groin as feels comfortable today. Good. And wherever you choose to land, I invite you to bring your hands together in front of your heart and breathe here. Good. Continuing to open the knee out to the side. So we're increasing our focus and our concentration, as well as working on balance. Good. Inhaling, circling the arms up. Also a good pose for keeping your sense of humor intact, not taking yourself too seriously. Good. Breathing 3. 2. And 1. Nice work. Exhale, release. All right, and preparing to come on into the other side when you're ready, getting grounded down through the right leg. Finding your variation on this side. Or with the foot resting on the calf. Yeah, just want to be really mindful not to have the foot resting on the side of the knee. Finally, you could lift that foot right up, bringing the heel in close to the groin, the foot on the thigh, finding your breath. And keeping in mind that one side is always going to be different than the other. That's just the way it goes, with balance, with sensation, with flexibility, with life. And with the inhale, circling the arms up. Lovely. Good. Slow, deep breaths for 2. And 1. Exhaling, release. Good. Soles of the feet on the floor, coming up to the top of the mat. Finding your equal standing pose. We'll start to bring it down. Inhaling, circling the arms up, look up. Exhaling, forward fold, soft knees here as we release the fingertips to the earth. With your inhale, looking forward and lengthening. With your exhale, stepping back to a high plank position and pausing here, remembering your option to tap your knees to the floor if that's the support that you need today. Otherwise, we're breathing here for 3. Looks good. Keeping the belly active for 2. And 1. Exhaling, tapping the knees to the floor, tops of the feet on the floor, lowering down onto your belly. With the next inhale, pressing up and back, releasing the sitting bones towards the heels. The forehead comes to rest on the floor or stacked hands or fists, pausing here. Sliding the hands in towards the knees and pressing up to a comfortable kneeling position or any other seated position that you like. You don't have to stay in kneeling here. Okay? Inhaling, sweeping the arms up. Shoulders height to a T. Good. With the exhale, crossing the right arm over the left, above the elbows here, if that's comfortable for you. Good. And bending the elbows, palms face out. Yeah, and you may hang out here. This may be your pose today. Or you may choose to cross the wrists. Yeah, keeping the palms facing out and either taking hold of this thumb or bringing the palms to touch. Lovely. Good. Notice how it feels to lift the elbows a little higher. Good. Pressing the forearms in towards one another, noticing how that brings sensation into the shoulder blades or into the back body. Knowing that you can come out at any time or stay for my count of 2. And 1. Exhaling, release. And rolling it out a little bit or exploring any other kind of releasing movement that arises for you. And preparing to come on into the other side as you're ready with the inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhaling, this time left arm crosses over top. Good, and again, we want to cross the arms pretty high up above the elbows. Good, bending the elbows, palms face out. Keeping the palms facing out, crossing, the wrists, lovely. And breathing. And pressing the forearms in towards one another here. And being present to where sensation arises for you as you breathe. And for 2. And 1. And exhaling, release. Good. And again, simply releasing the shoulders in any way that feels right. And from here, sinking over, coming into a seated position with the legs extended out in front of you. Now you may choose to have the knees deeply bent here or to have the legs straight. That's up to you. And I invite you to have the feet pretty close together if that's comfortable. Great. Releasing the fingertips to either side of the hips. With the inhale, circling the arms up and looking up, preparing to come into forward fold. On the exhale, releasing forward over the extended legs. Now you may choose to release the hands to the floor or somewhere on the legs or the feet. Good. Lots of different ways to be in this pose. A bolster or a block is a great idea. Great. And we're breathing. Very nice. Finding the slow, deep breath in and out through the nose. Breathing 2. And 1. Slowly with the inhale coming up. All right, bringing the feet to the floor and releasing down onto your backs. So just being mindful of where you're at on your mat here. All right. And hugging the knees in towards the belly. Both knees drawn in close. You may choose to have the knees close together or wide apart. And if you like, coming into a gentle rocking from side to side. In your own time, releasing the soles of the feet down onto the floor. And the feet a little bit wider apart than the hips.
Great. So we're preparing to come into some back bends here. So again, we want to have the feet a little wider than the hips in order to create more ease. The arms are relaxed alongside the body here with the palms face down. When it feels right for you, on your inhale, lifting the pelvis up towards the sky as you sweep the arms up overhead. They may come to rest on the floor behind you today, or they may not. With your exhale, releasing the arms back down alongside the body as you slowly lower the back body down onto the mat, and that'll be the flow. Good. In your own time, inhaling up. Exhaling back down. This looks fabulous. Carrying on now, finding your own rhythm. Good. So back bends again are traditionally seen as being more invigorating and energizing. I invite you to be present to what you experience here. This is your practice. Good. Noticing if you can keep the soles of your feet rooted to the earth here as we flow for 3, 2, and last one. Inhaling, coming up. This time, if you like, you could hold your back bend for 3 breaths. You can come down early if you need to, or breathe here, 3. Lifting the pelvis a little higher if that feels right for 2. Pressing the soles of the feet into the floor, last breath. With your exhale, slowly releasing back down onto the mat, releasing the arms down onto the mat, pausing. And taking a breath. Preparing to come into our reclining twist. Beginning by extending the arms out along the floor about shoulders height to a T, with the palms face down. Now you may have a particular style of twist that you'd like to practice, or you may wish to follow along with me. Either way is just fine. So if there's a variation of twist that you prefer, please feel free to come into it now. Otherwise, with the exhale, releasing the knees over to the right. So not being concerned with having the feet or the legs stacked, just allowing the feet and the knees to release to the right. From here, turning to look over the left shoulder and breathing. Your eyes may be closed or open here. And when you're rolling your head to center, and with the exhale, releasing the knees over to the left, turning to look over the right shoulder, breathing here. Tuning into the rhythm of your breath,
to the sensation in your body for the last few breaths. With the inhale, rolling your head to center, rolling your knees to center. Finding your midline here as we prepare to come into relaxation. So traditionally we practice relaxation lying on our backs with the arms aligned a comfortable distance alongside the body, the palms face up, and the legs extended out along the mat. Now, if this isn't appropriate for you today, it's fine to lie on your belly or your side, or even stay in seated. Your eyes could be closed or open. Just keeping in mind that as with everything that we do in this practice, you have choices. If at any point during this practice you want to open your eyes or change positions, or even if you feel that you need to complete the relaxation early, just know that that's okay. If you choose to stay for the next 4 minutes, I'll give you some suggestions for coming out when it's time. Taking a long inhale through the nose and exhaling the breath through the mouth. Simply letting go of any kind of intentional breathing for the practice. Letting the breath arise naturally. Allowing the floor to rise up and support you as you rest. And slowly starting to come back now, wiggling fingers and wiggling toes. Letting your head roll gently from side to side. Extending your arms up overhead, interlacing the fingers, pressing the palms away. Take a long stretch here. And release. And you might wish to hug your knees in towards your belly now and rock a little from side to side. Right arm up overhead to rest on the floor and roll over to rest on the right side of the body. And so the head and the neck are supported by the arm. From here, pressing up to a comfortable seated position, and we can close this practice together. So I invite you here to take a moment to bring your hands together, to bow your head towards your heart if that's comfortable, and to drop in. And to notice how you feel. To be with whatever is so for you in this moment. And I honor you and I thank you for sharing your yoga practices with me today. Namaste.